So this contrast between ways that we see animals, like on our clothing, to activist murals, to fine art through history, to, kitsch art. This is the sort of quintessential kitsch Americana flamingo. And Lisa, really, I love how you talk about this picture in the book, that it's this completely blurred line between what is nature and what is culture, because, you'll see once you read it about the greenhouse being manufactured and the flowers are cultivated. So pretty much what really is natural it raises those questions. And then this is Cabrini Green, and I just pulled over, and they're all torn down now. They just took the last one down. Yeah, that last one is just going. My brother, the policeman. This is, so there's this other thread of dead animals. So I started doing the dead animals, and I kind of dipped my toe in, why am I doing this dead animal stuff? Because it's so scary and creepy and weird and smelly, but it was exciting because it was all of that. It was just all of that. It was like, what is this saying, and that it's sad, and that it's a found thing, and that there's a mystery, but it's this visceral thing to find something. Like, we don't often see the wild animal, we see the dead wild animal, the roadkill or the remains. So I really was interested in this thread of how these dead animals functioned within the series. To not use too many of them, to use them really specifically. This picture is a trapped bird at Columbia. Actually, somebody called me. So I have all these people calling me, telling me I found a dead animal. They're good ones. There have been some good ones. My sister and her dog, they found a bunch. But so this poor bird, he trapped himself in the window panes and died, struggled and died. I think that the charge that I find, or this facing the fear of confronting the animals when they're dead and really getting in there and trying to find the right picture of them, that challenge to not be gory and to be specific about capturing something about them, is a similar feeling when I encounter real animals, that it's exhilarating and it's scary. And this buffalo was it was a buffalo farm in Wisconsin. And he was friendly, but it was really scary. The buffalo, their heads are immense. I had no idea until he came closer, and I fed him some grass, and it was thrilling to do that and to have that experience. And it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and his nose, when he was breathing, it was like wind. It was just, they're so giant and curious. So the intensity of experiencing this stuff is really powerful. This is, again, speaks to that intensity, that should I include this or not? This visceral, but it's like honest. This is what happens. We have pets, we lose them, it's sad. We have tons of roads. This actually, I saw, we were going ice skating, and the dog flashed as we drove by, and I was like, oh my God, that was a dog. So I went back after dropping off the kids, and the owner actually found the dog while I was shooting, and her name's Bella. I know, it was really sad, and I think I wanted to keep it in there because of that, speaking to that painful thing that we lose these animals that we love so much. This is my mom's bird, and then we'll be done with the dead ones. This is Father's Day, kind of a funny, like I'm off photographing a mouse with a fly while the kids are like playing in the yard. This project really does pull me away from things. And then this is at the LaPorte County Fair, and this Asian goose was so mean, like just mean as anything. And it's been fun. It's been a fun journey to find these things and to try to get the shot, try to get the right feeling, and it's really a challenge. But at one point, actually right around this time, after that goose, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with this. The series is going to be finished. And then I saw this picture. I was driving home, and it was on Sedgwick, and I was like, what the hell? There's horses on Sedgwick and Chicago Avenue, or Division. And I didn't know they were there, and I thought, you are not done with this project. There are more things to figure out what to say and to add, and do a little more research. And my brother, actually, he's a policeman, and I called him. I'm like, John, come here, and, sort of, it's not the safest neighborhood right there. So I told him to come and just help me out. And so we did, and made this picture. I got much more deliberate and planful. So I got access to the meat packer. I went into, this is Grant Park Meats on Lake Street, and I said, can I come and photograph in your meat locker? And I showed him my work, and he said, sure. It was really gross going in there. It was freezing, and it was so sterile, and their eyeballs, it was really. And I got tickets to the Ringling Brothers Circus. This is the pre-show. So this elephant is demonstrating how well trained she is. And so she would lie down and show her feet, and it was exhilarating to see the elephant stand up from that position, because they have you ever seen an elephant get up? They swing their whole body. It's really remarkable. So this, again, is a complicated thing. Ringling Brothers gives a ton of money to research, but yet there's constantly controversy about keeping elephants at circuses. So also what I wanted to make sure I covered was biology, how in our education we experience the animals. And a student of mine, her father was a biology teacher, and I showed my work to the class, and she said, hey, my father has a horse fetus in a jar that she remembered as a child, was so disturbing to her. Well, I was like, can I see that? Can I make an appointment with? So they threw that horse away the semester before. It was so heartbreaking. But that prompted me to get an appointment. This is at St. Scholastica, my high school. And this is the monkey fetus that we have there in the lab. This was my biology lab. Kind of cracks me up. So all this time, I've been making books, dummy books of my work. It's always been about the sequence and how they work together as a series. And so I cut apart, this is an early example, I would cut apart my contact sheets. So my negative is this square size, it's 2 1/4 inches, and I would put them together in these sequences. And then I got fancy and started making dummy books and tried to find a publisher, and I made so many dummy books to figure out what the sequence was. So it would change all the time, yearly I would have a whole new book. And within the sequence, you'll see, if you're looking through the book, they're paced not by category or by, animal or whatever. They're paced through in an emotional way. I wanted to have this range between the happy ones and then sad or poetic, or these, I consider these bursts of the natural and more freeing. And so they're specific in their pacing. This is the geese flying over Andersonville. Don't you love it when you hear geese flying over? We live between a cemetery and a river, or I don't know where they go actually to go west. But they fly real low over my house, and I just love that connection, that sound of the wind going through their wings.